Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, as you guys can see, I'm back here at Shooters in Fort Myers, Florida, about to do the review. Yes, you already know, I'm smiling, I'm happy because I'm going to be reviewing another Glock. Yes, and today I have Glock 22 Generation 3. Check this out. Yes, chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. I know a lot of you guys love 40 Smith & Wesson, so there you go. 4.5-inch barrel, 15 rounds in the magazine. Let's load up some 40 Smith & Wesson, do some shooting, and see what this thing can do. Okay, so today I will be shooting some 40 Smith & Wesson from PMC Bronze. Yes, 165 grain, but this is Glock after all. So whatever you shoot through it, I'm confident it's gonna shoot without any problems. Okay, so let's load up the magazine. The magazine is super easy to load. It's double stacked. It's nicely numbered at the back. Very similar to the generation, I'm pretty sure Generation 4 magazines is exactly the same. I think on the Generation 5 they added the orange follower, which is huge upgrade for a Glock. It is a huge upgrade. But I got 5 rounds in the magazine. Let's you know what, let's that orange on the previous review I only hit it once, so let's see if I can hit it more than once with this Glock right here. So I'm more familiar with Glock sights, Glock trigger. Oh man, yeah, all right, let's see. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have to say, there's something about Generation 3 that is just like not any other generation that is out. It's just something about, I guess it's the guide rod, the spring that they use in the guide rod. I know they upgraded it in Generation 4, and then they made some slight changes in the Generation 5. And it did get better, don't get me wrong. It does handle the recoil better. But I think in the Generation 3, I think they had a better balance between handling the recoil and the ease of racking. I mean, it is super easy to rack. I mean, this is just like, this is a breeze, you know? I really like it. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning and we'll get to the slide later. Let's start with the grip. As you can see, your standard Generation 3 grip right here was my favorite. Finger grooves, man, I miss those finger grooves. They still have them on the Generation 4. They got rid of them on the Generation 5 for, don't ask me why, but they did. Now, this is typical pattern for Generation 3. You got a little bit of aggression here with these lines right here that don't really serve much purpose except maybe from sliding your finger through. Now at the very front you do have some aggression here, not aggressive overall very, very smooth. You do have some serrations here at the front of the trigger guard, just in case if that's what you like. There's a very nice cutout going underneath the trigger guard right here, so you can have your hand all the way up there for the perfect grip. Moving further, we got our mag release, which was dramatically changed in the Generation 4. I'm being sarcastic, okay, dramatically. But it was just a little bit more area added. However, it's not as pointy, as not as much of sticking out as the on the Generation 3. And here, as you can see, yes. And it doesn't jump out as much. I don't really know why I dropped it, but I did drop it. Now, I have to say, one plus that you have with the Generation 4 and the Generation 5 mag release is that they are reversible. So if you are a lefty, not a leftist lefty, you can definitely do that. Here you can. This is not an ambidextrous mag release, although the slide release is not ambidextrous either, so this is not lefty friendly for the most part at all. I mean, you can still shoot left-handed, and you can still figure out a technique that works for yourself, but something for you to keep in mind. Now, moving on to the slide, we have serrations at the back, no serrations at the front, which they added in the further generations. You can see the 1913 Picatinny accessory rail for your favorite flashlight right here. And yes, let's do some more shooting and see if I can do a little bit of a better job, this time with the flappy pedals that I always do a terrible job at. So we'll see if this Glock chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson can redeem me. Well, 40 Smith & Wesson is obviously a heavier round, so should not have any problems turning the pedals. That is if I hit them. So we'll see if I can do that. I have to say I do like the Glock magazines quite a lot. They're very, very easy to load. Across all of the generations, doesn't really matter, but let's see what I can do. Okay. Alright, not too shabby. What is it? 4 out of 5, or 3 out of 5. Something like 4 out of 5. It was 4 out of 5. Yeah, okay, so let's come back to this and talk about the sights now. Since my aiming is terrible, let's talk about the sights. We have standard Glock sights that have not changed since the Generation 3. It's still the same sights. They're not adjustable, which is completely fine with me. Honestly, I had more problems with the adjustable sights on the Glock compared to non-adjustable, just to fix ones. And you can adjust them, don't get me wrong, the rear sight you can adjust, but it's not one of those that adjust with a screw. It literally just, you have to like knock it, or you have to have a pusher or whatever you call it, a special device that is for specifically for sliding in the sights. Let's talk about the trigger. We have our 28 and pull trigger here, standard Glock trigger with the safe action system here, which is basically a drop safety. If you drop the gun, it's not going to fire by itself. Let me double check. There's nothing in the chamber, nothing in the chamber. And then we have our very safe, very familiar, about 3.5 millimeters usual, very, very similar to everything else that is there on the Glock. And then this little bit, and then a crisp break. So if you are familiar with Glock triggers, you will have absolutely no problems getting used to this trigger right here. Now, the disassembly system is exactly the same as on literally every other Glock. Is this this lever right here that goes across, so all you are doing is helps removing the magazine, getting this thing back on both sides. You're securing this, bringing it down, and then your whole front, top, slide, barrel, guide rod comes out. So very easy to maintain because it's very easy to disassemble. Pretty good. So let's do some 5 more rounds, and this time I'll probably not try the flappy pedals. I'll try that same orange once again, just so that I don't embarrass myself at the very end of this review. But so far it's going pretty good, and usually I ruin it by trying to shoot those flappy pedals. But this time actually I'm gonna do not 5 rounds, I'm gonna do 10 rounds, and I'm gonna do the rapid fire just to demonstrate how this thing handles under pressure. There's not much of the pressure, it's really just 10 rounds in the rapid fire, nothing. Okay, so that little orange circle at the very top, 10 rounds, rapid fire. Not too shabby. Alright, so let's try to come up with a reasonable conclusion, even though this channel is very rarely anything reasonable on this channel, especially when it comes to the firearm. But I have to say, I do like the Generation 3 Glocks. There's just something about them, something that has been lost in the Generation 4 and the Generation 5. It's really hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but I think it's something that has to do with the spring in the guide rod. It has something to do with the finger grooves. It has something to do with non-ambidextrous mag release, non-ambidextrous slide release. That's not good, honestly. I prefer the ambidextrous. But something about that better balance between the ease of racking the gun and also the recoil management is, I mean, it kicks like a 40 in a 4.5-inch barrel, as you would expect, but it's not bad at all. Like, it could definitely manage. I see why it's been preferred amongst a lot of police officers in US. It's very, very popular. Glock 22 Generation 3, super, super popular amongst the police officers. That's their sidearm that they carry, and they can definitely see why. It has enough power. 40 Smith & Wesson is an excellent round. especially if you're more concerned with the, you know, the stopping power, right? 15 capacity magazine that you can also get. I think they have like the 17 to 20, 22. They have 22 and they have 16, all right, for the OEM magazines, that is. But you can find pretty much any kind of variety of the numbers of rounds, the capacity, that's what I'm trying to say, in the magazine, because they have these extensions for extra 2 rounds, extra 3 rounds, extra whatever rounds. There's like so much stuff. That's obviously one of the strongholds of the Glock. Not because of the Glock, well, probably because of the Glock a little bit, but because of everybody else who decided to make stuff for the Glock. So overall, again, can't go wrong with the Glock right here. Even the Generation 3 still can't go wrong with the Glock. Love it. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this review? What do you think about this Glock 22 Generation 3? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. God bless you all. I'll see you guys in the next video.